Okay, and we're back. So, in thinking about recording, of course, creating content is naturally a place to get started. But I think if we follow the same parallels as we do with backward design, what we think about in addition to how do I do it is like why, right? Like the same way we're planning lessons and assessments and, in what order. It's really easy to think activities first, quiz and test, or assessment second. But we know, again, based on backward design and just quality plus teaching strategies, just throwing that out there again. I know we're in the ISC. Well, you guys are in the ISC, just, in case, just handling it. Also, I think I called him QTP, whatever, QPT. You know what we're saying. We have enough things with letters, right? So when we look at those, the quality plus teaching strategies, and we look at just the ways we know pedagogically are sound, like backward design, we also, at the same time as creation, are thinking purpose. I don't want to make a bunch of videos and a bunch of stuff I can't use because time is money and time is just time. Like time is everyone's currency. Who doesn't value their time? Even if it doesn't seem like it, they do. And so not only thinking about how you'll create videos, but also keeping in mind what you'll do with them once you've created them. And a couple ideas here, or what I have to share with you. The first thing I think of is how you organize your content. So for example, what you can see here on mine are a couple of different units. So I've got like down here, you can see, where am I? Spanish 2 Unit 6, Spanish 2 Unit 5, Spanish 2 Unit 4. I've got specific or course-specific things that I have named there that pertain to a unit, and that's the same verbiage I'm going to use with students. They know that we're in Unit 4. This is our Unit 5 test. This is our Unit 6 quiz. That is very much the language of our class, is what unit. We use a book, but we're very loose with it, so it's not chapter necessarily, it's unit. It could be theme, it could be lesson, whatever that unit of measurement is for whatever you teach, however you're using it. That could be one way that you could also categorize them. This is the same logic that follows like on a Pinterest board, right? If you've got a Pinterest board or sections to anything that you're organizing, there's some work on the front end of your pantry, of your Pinterest boards, of your bathroom, of your counter. When things are a disaster, which they often are, mine currently is, it's because they weren't categorized. It's because there isn't a system. So there's some work on the front end that needs to be done on deciding what you want your systems to be. For me, the easiest was units. This is our Unit 1 playlist. This is our Unit 2 playlist. So if those are chapters, if those are something besides the word unit, then there you go. Themes perhaps, or modules. That could be a thing as well. So however it is that you categorize that information, rock and roll. So that's one option. The other thing is I think of time of year. So I think of the different resources that we need throughout the different period, throughout the school year, throughout the different things that come up and just chronologically occur that we need. So I mentioned before those open house videos. So maybe that's a way that you frame it as well. I'm going to need some beginning of the year videos to show the websites to students that you use, to show them, the grading system, like I'd mentioned, take them through eClass. If you're like me and you're going to use it now way more than ever before, because I wasn't using it before. Ooh, don't let that part. I know we're in the ISC. Don't let that part be. Quality plus teaching strategies, yes, shout it from the rooftops. But like the fact that I wasn't using eClass before, wasn't at all. No, never, not once. So now I'm going to be using it a lot more. Maybe you want to walk them through where to find those things, where to find the units, where to find quizzes, tests, etc. Because I know I will. We have had to this year, and that's been very helpful, where students have said, I can't find X or I can't find Y. Well, here you go. Boop. And there's the Loom video. There's, maybe a whole welcome back to school playlist that says, click here for a room tour. Maybe a separate one that says, click here to learn about grades. Click here to learn about, email. Click here to learn about your teacher. You can do all sorts of different aspects if you're thinking of it chronologically as well. You have access to my help desk, and you'll see that I basically did that. It was before we had YouTube access. So I'm going to put all of those now into a work time. I'm going to use our work time when we're doing the virtual one to then move my videos over and have a welcome to Spanish class with Mrs. White video like series playlist. So instead of doing that help desk necessarily, I can just make them into a YouTube playlist. Grades, email, welcome parents, open house, whatever. That can be one long running playlist. And let's say you have the YouTube video on your YouTube app on your phone. Let's say you make a couple of clip-o-matic ones. You're just like boop, 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 saving and uploading so you can curate that playlist. And that's some of the logistics that we'll look at today too. How do you even make a playlist, right? And so that's the thinking behind some of that. What do you want them to be based on? Unit, chapter, time of year. And then what are you going to use? So those two things I think work in tandem in some ways. My background just randomly changed. Whatever. Totally fine. There we go. I'll move myself here and let's move. Oh, look, it's behind the curtain. Do. Oh no. Secrets revealed. So it just depends on how you want to really organize those things. But the tough part, again, is the work on the front end, is the sort of executive decision to do so. And that can be a little bit tricky because, you change your mind later, like anything. It's like when you change your grading system or your discipline system or your incentive system, you're given tickets, then you change to stickers. It can be confusing. So once you've gone to it, you can always rename playlists. You can always move the order, and Sean will show you how to do that. But it's, the thinking on the front end really is key because it helps me conceptualize how I want to show what it is I want to show and make some of those big decisions that allow me to work efficiently, right? We get like here in a workshop or in pre-planning and I'm like, let's freaking go. Don't waste my time. I want to hurry up and get stuff done. I want to feel like I accomplished something and I want to feel productive. And in that sense, I'm defining productivity by not just doing the most things, but doing what matters. And so if you're telling me, cool, we've got YouTube access and this could be a neat resource for students, I want to jump right in. I want to hurry up and have something to show for it. So that's kind of the thinking behind that. The other thing that I did previously when I taught in Memphis was I had it by week. And I don't remember the thinking behind that, but you'll see some of my playlists. So this is my not school. Let me move my screen here. There we go. This is my not school public because I was already using it and then we got YouTube access. So I was not aware that this was going to be a thing. I'm very excited, but I didn't know. So let me move me up a little bit here. Okay, so when you click on my playlists, you should see, I was already there and I clicked on it again, so give it a second, it's going to refresh. But when you click on it there, you'll see created playlists and you can click directly. You'll see some of them still say week. And so I need to go back, there it is. So week 7, week 19, week 10, week 13. That's from, like I said, when I taught in Memphis, and I did them by week because that was also just an easier way to make copies and to make my slideshows and to organize information. So I found that worked for me. But now if I did it by week, Peachtree Ridge is the only school on block. So it would be weeks 1 through 18. And then we get a whole new class, new students, new everything. That would just be probably at this point for me more confusing than it's worth, because if I share anything with other teachers, if Ebony Thornton and I, who collaborate, she's at Grayson, who collaborate a lot, if she's coming in, my week 7 isn't going to be her week 7. My week 7's her week 14 because she's not 90-minute classes every single day. So I found weeks to be a little bit more confusing when I came back to Gwinnett. So now it's unit, which means now it's just a hodgepodge, complete smorgasbord of units, weeks, whatever. But as long as I keep them hyperlinked for students, It's not really that big of a deal. And it's not confusing for them. So that's going to be my project this summer and during our work time is to to transfer my YouTube videos over. That way, all of that weak stuff is gone, and I can just keep the unit things there. So it's going to be pretty cool. So once you've curated your playlist, once you've figured out kind of how you want to organize the playlist, how you want to divide that, and then also, what seems like the best, most practical, efficient tool for you. Obviously, they don't have to be the ones that we shared, but they could be. From then, you can start to think about kind of what you want the experience to be with these playlists. I, as a teacher, like to do kind of like a choice board of watch any 4, and let's say I have 10 videos on a playlist. Maybe I've made 3 and I've found 7. Then I can tell students, once a week, watch any 2 videos. The next week I can say, watch any 2 videos you haven't seen yet. And if I do that, we have about 3 weeks per unit. If I say watch 3 videos each week for the 3 weeks of the unit, and I know we've got about 10 total, at some point, students should have seen, according to the assignment, all of those videos almost, or pretty much. And so it can be kind of an optional, no questions needed, just watch the content kind of experience. It can be a flipped classroom type of thing of come into school tomorrow, you needed to have watched these 2, go on our Unit 6 playlist and watch videos 1 and 2, and you've literally named them 1 and 2. So that could be a really neat thing to do. Like, let's go in, I'm going to play in the week 7 playlist and pretend, okay, so I've got 3 videos here. Shoot, they're not mine, so I can't rename them. I was going to say, if they're yours, you can I don't think I can rename them. No, I can't. Okay. I could rename them if they were mine, like 1, literally like the number 1, 2, and 3. So you could tell students, watch, like I said, watch videos 1 and 2, and then next week we're going to watch 3, 4, and 5. Well, there you go. Done, right? The other thing you can do is move them around. Let's say you've got, let me get a playlist that I have actually used this year. So like not one that says week. This is this unit that we're in. Oops, hold on. Let me go to the actual playlist. Okay, so I've got these 4. And let's say I want to change the order of these. I can slide them up. So I might not be able to rename them, but I can say, watch the first 3. Watch the first 2. I can move this one to the end. This one I actually can rename because, let's see. Yeah, so I would have to go in the video itself and edit logistically. And I could change the name of that to be like, watch this first. But this was just a screencast of The Last Dance in Netflix, which maybe is copyright. I don't know. Anyway, Sean, help. Mute me. Mute me if I'm breaking the rules and copyright. I don't mean any harm. But you can rename these. You can move these. If they're yours, you can remove any of them. And then students now see this curated experience however it is that you intend, pretty much. I go back as a language teacher and as a word nerd in general, I go back to the etymology of curate. And the etymology of curate is the word care. So which I find fascinating, think of like a museum curator, right? Like they're caring about the things, they're caring about the artwork or about the whatever it is that they're charged with, and they care about the people who are enjoying them. So when I think about the learning experiences that we curate for our students, we must take care to put it in an order that makes sense. Maybe at first you're just dumping videos in, like, yes, I love this, save to playlist. And that's really easy to do. I found it. Okay, awesome. I'm going to click on the 3 dots, save to playlist, and then I choose the playlist, or whatever. It's just like a video dump. Check, 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 check. Yes, absolutely. And then later go back. And your next step then is curating, caring for that experience, and really putting it in an order that makes sense and that's easy for you as a teacher later to say, watch them in order. That's important. So perhaps you've put your introduction first and then like an authentic resource, a video from elsewhere somehow. Then you've put, a video follow-up, just a quick thing where you're recapping some reflections, then another video. However it is that you want that experience to happen, that can be powerful. So really not underscoring the importance of the order of the resources that you're again curating for students, that you're compiling. What's really nice is too, for me, that became my narrative this year. That became like my party line. I love anything that I can say always or never to, because we never get to do that, right? I just did it, but we never get to do that in education. We have so much, we have like control over our little like classroom sometimes, but we don't have a lot of flexibility. Or sometimes we have a lot of flexibility and no control. Like, it's so weird how what we do works in all the different positions and, roles and sort of hierarchies and all those kind of things. But so therefore, the more things that I can say always, never, I can, quizzes will always be 10 questions. Your playlist will always be for you there to watch in the order that makes sense, or in the order of the quiz. That actually might be accurate for this playlist. It is like in the order right now. Oh no, not the first one, not the second one. But it's watch these videos in order and then take the test. Watch these videos in order before tomorrow. There you go. You've done flipped classroom, or you've done remediation, or you've done level ups. Sometimes we think about resources, extra credit. We think about resources in terms of like catching kids up, but we can't forget to like keep, pulling kids up the ladder, but also keep pushing the ones above us up the ladder because they're continuing to climb. So thinking about level ups, remediation, heck, why not? Just put all the resources in one place. What they do with them is on them, but they're accessible. You've made them or found them. You've curated an experience that makes sense. And from there, it's on students to sort of organize that experience and to engage in a way that's A, what we said to do, but also B, their responsibility, I think, as students and as learners. We have said that. How many times this year have we used the word responsibility, accountability, all the illities? And I think that's part of it. So when they miss out on that information, well, it was there. And not only was it there, it was also in the order that I told you to do it. Like, come on, everybody. So that's just really hard to argue against when, as a student, when you made it available and it was put together with such care. So again, I come back to care. The next portion that I will do is also some of those level ups. I keep mentioning those level ups. And so looking a little bit deeper at things like Instagram, also how you can record yourself and maybe make some more interactive ways to give feedback, like GIFs. You can put yourself on a GIF. So you listen, to make all these videos, you just have to be really good with like seeing yourself on everything. Not always comfortable, but at this point, whatever, right? We've been on camera we've been the only one on Zoom for like 14 months of computer school. So we're just like, whatever. We're all used to seeing our whole face on everything all the time. So the level ups are going to bring in green screen, Instagram, Snapchat, as well as a couple of other apps that may, if you're comfortable with a lot of these things and you go, okay, I'm looking to step up my game though, looking to add some different kinds of content. I've got some extra credit options for you. But the overall goal, like you can see, our objectives for this workshop are very straightforward. Like acquainting yourself with your YouTube channel, just like this, acquainting yourself with that, being able to create with that, and coming away with something that is useful and helpful for the school year. Hopefully you can check off a couple of boxes on your to-do list for pre-planning and beyond. So if this feels like a lot and you're like, level ups, lady, give me a break, then, whatever. Sean's got you with the tech support right there in person, and you can totally disregard the level ups unless you just want to see what we're up to, and then there you go. But all right, rocking and rolling. Sean, it's all you. I'm going to hand it over. Feels like I'm there, doesn't it?